Welcome, everyone, to Todd's World, Beers with Jesus. How's it going, Carrie?
Cheers.
We're back.
We're
Cheers.
back.
You know, I don't even have a beer today. I ran out of beer last night. I drank
Shocking.
myself dry.
Shocking.
No, I had hardly any. Like the whole night, I was like, I should go get some, and I was like, I didn't feel like doing it.
So
So
you're just drinking water today?
I'm just drinking water. Look at me.
How do you feel? You're
I'm like on a fast.
You're on a cleanse.
I'm on a cleanse.
Cleanse
I
with
feel like I
Jesus.
need some beer.
Cleanse with Jesus today.
It was all right. I just got back from church. It's early, so it's all right.
Cool.
Taking my girls, some of my girls. You never know who my girls are. So,
No.
like Jeffrey Epstein. No.
It's your collection of the day. There's
No, I have lots of daughters, and so taking a collection of them out.
And friends, right?
Cousins, friends, yeah, all kinds.
Yeah.
We're going out to Yesterdog. Oh, I love Yesterdog.
I love Yesterdog.
It gets me so excited.
That sounds awesome. Hey, this summer I want to go there.
We should.
Yeah, let's.
I'm always up for Yesterdog.
Yesterdog's like, we're going to Yesterdog
once a month for me.
I think we should do a podcast from Yesterdog.
I don't know if they'll let. They're a little on the left side of life, I believe.
Probably, unfortunately.
Down in Easttown, like they are.
Yeah,
that's all right. How was? Did you go to church today or no? You probably skipped church.
No, I was going to watch it online, but the service that I was looking for today wasn't posted, so I have to go see if it's on another platform because it wasn't in its normal place.
Oh, I watched.
Yep.
The first worship service, which I didn't go to because Kate was doing it.
Okay.
My daughter.
Yep.
And then went and saw her do it live, and I didn't listen to the sermon twice.
Okay.
I knew it wouldn't be worth that. I was right. But
you were right. Was it approved curriculum?
I guess. You know, the guy like quoted Charlie Kirk. Like and I just I don't know.
Well, which I mean is fine. It was relevant, I'm sure, right?
Whatever. I guess. It all feels a little contrived to me. I think I said that in news yesterday.
I was gonna say, I just haven't been hearing a whole lot from that, but it must have been relevant.
I mean, I don't know. It's about the family, and it's one of these things where they bounce all over and give you all these different proof texts for why there shouldn't be gay marriages.
Oh, is that what it was about?
No, it wasn't all about that. Just that was they throw that in, and I'm just always like, you guys just need to come to terms with the stories. That's what we do.
Right. Can we
like you just walk right through it? It's already told.
Just give Beers with Jesus a chance.
I just the approved curriculum is just it gets a little much for me.
We do keep it pretty simple here. Not that we're simple people, just
to be fair, now that we're recording a lot of times, like I'm not great because I spend a lot of the sermon going through this. So I'm going through Acts 18 and I'm underlining things and cross-referencing and doing whatever. And so
you're doing a Bible study during it.
Right. So I take out of it that he quoted Charlie Kirk at some point. That's all.
Well, I was going to say, you then at some point look up and you're like, why is he quoting Charlie Kirk? And you don't even know what it's
He was like, whose quote is this? Trying to figure out, it was something about families. You need to have babies. You need to do this, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the most rebellious thing you can do. Anyway, maybe it's some famous quote by Charlie Kirk.
It is. It totally is. Anyway. And it's true.
He was like, who said this? And I was like, Rush Limbaugh.
Did you shout it out? You did?
But it wasn't. It was Charlie Kirk.
That's funny.
So, what do you do?
Funny. What do you do?
It was fun. And I moved over during worship. Because there was some room between me and my sister Amber was there, and so I moved over by her because keep my arms out of the screen.
Keep out of the.
Although I told Kate as she's walking up to worship, I said, I think Josh's face looks a lot better with my hand in front of it. Oh well, it's all fun.
What do you do when you see that guy who talked to you? Just kind of give him like a little salute, a little nod. Like
I haven't seen the AV guy again.
Okay.
That I know of. He must just kind of hunker back among all his buttons and dials and things. I don't know.
He has to be a little nervous about seeing you after.
I don't think so. I just haven't.
You.
I don't know that I ever saw him before that. So I don't think it's anything, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm trying to stay at 75%, like, keep it down a little. Like, keep your shit together, Todd.
Under the radar.
Don't worship too big. Okay.
You know what? God knows your heart, Todd. It's okay.
Keep your hands down.
Keep your hands down. He knows in your heart that you're
Don't give
just
me no lines and
you're
keep those
just
hands to yourself.
you're you're just letting the people on stage give God the glory instead of
Exactly.
blocking the glory.
It's all about the
That's
Sunday show.
right. Oh gosh.
Well, this on Beers with Jesus, we just go through the stories. And
Mhm.
we have been going through Acts. And we use the message just because the message is the best. But I like it the best.
Mhm.
Carrie's coming around to it.
Grown on me quite a bit, and you all joining us are allowed to celebrate with us as enthusiastically as you wish.
Yes. And hopefully you get a beer in hand because that's what we do
Don't
on
have
Beers with
to.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I am not this week, but
He's doing a
I'm recovering.
cleanse. I'll have 2. I'll have 1 for you.
All right, guys, let's get into it. We're in Acts 18.
Okay.
And Carrie, you're going to read it. We're just do that first section, which is what, Corinth?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just do Corinth, and then we're going to bop around a little bit, and then call it a day.
Okay, and I'm
I'm
just along for the
tired. I hope
ride.
it doesn't come off to like I'm tired, but
No,
it's been a week.
I'm pretty
I said
tired
this
too.
on news. I think I
Yeah.
gave my whole cancer struggle session on news. So if you want to listen to news, you should. We do 2 podcasts every week. We do the Wildly Opinionated News Hour,
Mhm.
just where we just kind of go through clips and, politics, whatever. We enjoy it. And then this is Jesus.
It's pretty
So
one-sided, if we're honest.
is it?
Yeah.
Whose side?
The right
Ours?
one.
We don't give equal time.
No, you do not.
Although
Just
you'd be
full
surprised. There's a lot
disclosure.
of clips. You get a lot of
Full disclosure.
other opinions. Hunter's on there.
Yeah,
Big
we have a
Mike
lot
was
of
on there this week.
Oh gosh.
It was a big show. You guys should listen if you haven't.
Yeah.
My toddsworld.net. I'm doing a bunch of work on, got new gear out, new hoodies. I got a new t-shirt, Todd's World Unapproved Curriculum, all kinds of
It's
fun
very
stuff.
fun.
So I broomed most. I used to have some Trump stuff up because we went through the election. I broomed most of that.
Okay.
Maybe all of it, actually. And then now everything is just Todd's World. Man, we've got some new designs, some good stuff. We'll
Cool.
so
you're
but
not gonna tell
I'll tell people, if you don't listen to news, that I've been kind of going through my own little thing this week. I ended up having surgery. I had the last 2 or 3 weeks been a little bit of a flurry. I was diagnosed with cancer, but it's a blood cancer. It's follicular lymphoma, real slow growing. But I had a lymph node that was swollen up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so they took that out. So I'm recovering from that. And the prognosis is now we just sit and watch it. So the prognosis is good. So could be 4 or 5 years. Something else could pop up. They'll knock it down, take it out, do whatever they got to do, watch it again. It's kind of what they do with this. This is a little different than your typical
Yeah.
I guess what would you call them? Solid tumor type cancers
Is that what it's called? But yeah.
that people are more familiar with. Like you had breast
Like
cancer.
surgery, chemo, radiation, etc. It's medication. But yeah, you're just not having to do that, which is awesome.
This is a little different. It's a lot more responsive to treatment than a solid tumor cancer. So even if something pops up, usually they've got a regimen. And I think from talking to you that the treatments even themselves are a little lower intensity. So
yeah, just the frequency of it sounds that's good.
yeah.
It's
So anyway,
it's scary, but really good news. We're
it's
glad
been a
that
flurry of activity, but at the end of it all, I guess it was probably better news than worse. At the end of it all, we're back to the exact same place where I started with just my primary doctor who said, if you got to have cancer, it's a good one to have.
There you go.
I went through it all, got surgery, got an oncologist, and I feel exactly the same way. If you got to have one, this one's not bad.
This is your post-op show.
I guess. So
goodness.
That's where we ended up, the exact same place, except that freaking big ass lymph node's gone. So I'm happy about that.
Thank goodness. Yeah, that's good.
So hopefully we can calm down for a little while.
I hope so.
So anyway, any prayers anybody wants to offer, we appreciate them, of course. But it sounds like something that I will be will be living with us in Todd's world for the duration.
There you go.
Hopefully relatively asymptomatically.
I hope so. You've taken the cancer mantle and
I know. I don't think I get to get rid of it. It doesn't sound like.
Gosh. Well, we're lots of prayers of thanks.
But we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into things because
okay.
just whatever, nothing big.
Yeah.
But let's read.
Okay.
Let's read Acts 18 or the very beginning. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. You ready?
We'll take it from there. Get people on their way.
Okay.
Got Yesterdog in my future.
Yesterdog's waiting. Okay. What time's your reservation?
No reservations at Yesterdog. Come as you are.
Right.
Cash only.
All right. You ready? Is it cash only?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Better than no cash, the new trend. We didn't talk about that. I forgot to. All right.
All right, Carrie.
Acts 18. After Athens, Paul went to Corinth. That is where he discovered Aquila, a Jew born in Pontus, and his wife Priscilla. They had just arrived from Italy, part of the general expulsion of Jews from Rome ordered by Claudius. Paul moved in with them, and they worked together at their common trade of tent making. But every Sabbath, he was at the meeting place doing his best to convince both Jews and Greeks about Jesus. When Silas and Timothy arrived from Macedonia, Paul was able to give all his time to preaching and teaching, doing everything he could to persuade the Jews that Jesus was in fact God's Messiah. But no such luck. All they did was argue contentiously and contradict him at every turn. Totally exasperated, Paul had finally had it with them and gave it up as a bad job. "Have it your way then," he said. "You've made your bed, now lie in it. From now on, I'm spending my time with the other nations." He walked out and went to the home of Titus Justus, a God-fearing man who lived right next to the Jews' meeting place. But Paul's efforts with the Jews weren't a total loss, for Crispus, the meeting place president, put his trust in the master. His entire family believed with him. In the course of listening to Paul, a great many Corinthians believed and were baptized. One night, the master spoke to Paul in a dream. "Keep it up, and don't let anyone intimidate or silence you. No matter what happens, I'm with you, and no one is going to be able to hurt you. You have no idea how many people I have on my side in this city." That was all he needed to stick it out. He stayed another 1.5 years, faithfully teaching the Word of God to the Corinthians. But when Gallio was governor of Achaia province, the Jews got up a campaign against Paul, hauled him into court, and filed charges. "This man is seducing people into acts of worship that are illegal." Just as Paul was about to defend himself, Gallio interrupted and said to the Jews, "If this was a matter of criminal conduct, I would gladly hear you out. But it sounds to me like one more Jewish squabble, another one of your endless hair-splitting quarrels over religion. Take care of it on your own time. I can't be bothered with this nonsense." And he cleared them out of the courtroom. Now the street rabble turned on Sosthenes, the new meeting place president, and beat him up in plain sight of the court. Gallio didn't raise a finger. He could not have cared less.
There you go.
Whoa.
Beating up that Jewish guy.
Oh, what the heck?
Paul at least didn't get beat up this time.
Paul didn't get beat up, yes. And he didn't get, prosecuted in court.
And neither did the Christians. Good. Actually, this was the new, because it says that Crispus.
Yes.
Obviously, Paul was really frustrated with his time in the meeting place in Corinth, in the Jewish synagogue. But Crispus, it wasn't a total loss. Crispus, who was the meeting place leader, and his whole family believed the message. And so obviously they got a new one, and then the new one got beat up. So new one wasn't on our team.
So the new one, so Crispus believed Sosthenes, but who beat him up?
Just the crowd.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's what I think is it gives you a feel for kind of how real this all is.
Well, yeah,
just the crowds are fickle, like mobs are fickle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're
need a storyboard for this one, I feel
they're trying to use, and we see this over and over again. So the Jews get mad at Paul. Now, for a while, he's contending with them, right? For a while, they're contending with him. They're listening to him. They're dealing with the challenge or whatever. But at some point, Paul gets frustrated. Probably the Jews are upset with him, and he just kind of cashes out and is going to deal with the Gentiles. But then the Jews get mad, and every time they get mad, they make it like a legal thing. They bring it to the courts.
Yeah.
In every town he's at, they're like, they're trying to, and it's all about, oh, Caesar and this, that, worship other gods. And I do love how this Gallio is like, this is just you and all your religious quarrels all the time.
I
Leave
love
me
his
alone.
reaction, the best.
Like, I don't even care if you get beat up in the street. It doesn't even matter to me. Just shut up.
I know.
That's kind of how he's thinking,
Yeah, kind of like a parent just tired of the siblings squabbling over
Yeah,
stupid stuff. It's like, I'm not going to referee this for you. Get out of here.
Like, I got enough to do.
Yeah.
Got to collect all these taxes.
Right.
Got a legion that we've got to provide for. So no, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the thing, what you anything interesting off the top to you?
Well, I'm just I'm glad obviously for the dream that Paul had, because I feel like Paul's really very dedicated. Like, he's very passionate. His conversion was huge, and this is his mission. He's doing it willingly, very faithfully. The fact that he was so frustrated that he's like, you know what, forget you people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm like, it must have been pretty rough for him to reach that point, because he continually has received, he's protected, he's defended, he's busted out of jail supernaturally. Like, he knows that this is going to be a successful mission as long as he stays on track.
But he's been going through a lot.
Oh yeah, he's going through that. True, he's been beaten up and all that, but still,
Every place it seems like.
Yeah, it could also just be
he's
as
getting
a
hauled
result of
into
being
court, and then they want
tired.
to throw him in jail. And at some point you're like, God, just
Like, can I just have a break?
even if you know that you're that you're doing the Lord's work, even if you know that you're proceeding according to the plan he has for you, when you're hit with storm after storm after storm, it can get a little wearying.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Just worn out.
That's kind of what I take out of it.
But it's interesting that we hear about this tipping point for him, because he's just like, fine.
Well,
have it your way. You made it kind of like, hey, you don't want to listen to me? Fine. I'm speaking the truth. You're ignoring me. You deal with the consequences. And I like how we're given a glimpse of that, of his, like, a weak moment, a human moment, where this guy who's so faithful and so dedicated has just kind of just reached his breaking point. But I'm grateful for the dream. And I think, man, don't you just wish when you felt like giving up, like, man, God, I'm just like tired of the challenges, I'd love to have a dream that's like, hey, I'm with you no matter what. No one's going to hurt. Like, I would like a dream like that. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. You feel like you feel like we should get more dreams than what we get.
I would love
God
that.
should interject directly a little bit more often.
I mean, I'm not like placing demands. I'm just saying that would be awesome. Like, just give me a pep talk. I mean, we have this. This is our pep talk.
I think that's a big part of it.
Is our pep talk, but I'm like, I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't you like to have a prophetic dream, or like?
I think we have this. We have the Bible.
Okay.
But I think also what we have is each other.
Yeah.
And that's more, hopefully, Paul, of course, was in a place. Paul was also coming off. He'd been kind of chased out of the last couple places. Paul and or not Paul and Silas,
or had to be snuck out or whatever.
Silas and Timothy still aren't with him, so he's gone to Athens, and then he's left Athens and gone to Corinth, and they're still in Mesopotamia. Remember, they were in Berea, and he had sent word back to him, tell him to come as quickly as you can. Like, there was something about that fellowship and that encouragement and their help in everything that he really missed. Well, then he goes through all of Athens, and now he's in Corinth, and he still doesn't have but God sends somebody else. He sends Priscilla and Aquila, who end up being major players in the story of the church, as this husband and wife team kind of from Rome. Very, very good in teaching and in leading. They're a major they're a major bonus, I guess, to Paul, is my point. But he's also back to he's also working at the same time. So this is like, for Paul, this is a bivocational ministry, meaning that at times the church is supporting him and he can just work, but then there's times like right now where he's separated from Silas and Timothy, where he's got to just work to provide for himself to eat, just like Priscilla and Aquila.
Okay.
So not only are they trying to do this, on the Sabbath and meet with believers whenever, but during the day they got their day job, man. They're working. Like, he's tired, I think. You know what I mean? He's had the crap kicked out of him. He's been in jail.
He's working 7 days a week. Yeah.
All over, and now he's got to work for this, and he's got to provide for himself. And I think there's something about just that physical. He's just tired. I think. I really think that. And I think it's okay to just get tired. I think that's what that whole dream thing is.
Right.
God just kind of stepping in and encouraging them that it's okay because it's not like everything was going horrible. Because it says right before that, it says, in the course of listening to Paul, a great many Corinthians believed and were baptized. But he has not only the physical toll, but he's got this emotional toll of, he's a Jew and he loves the Jews, and he loves, he was a Pharisee. He loves, and yet his frustration that they will not see Jesus as the Messiah, I think, is just, it's driving him crazy. You know what I mean? Because he's going to him and he's contending with them. And that's why you see him get to the point where he finally just throws up his hand and says, I'm going to go to the other nations. And in that, he doesn't sound much different than Jesus through a lot of the New Testament, talking about the Jews and how frustrated he gets with them.
Right.
Or like God is over and over and over in the Old Testament, where he just, I want to wash my hands of all of them, Moses, and start fresh with you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or Moses gets frustrated with him or whatever. But that frustration is ongoing all the way through the Old Testament. They just won't see. I'm reading Jeremiah right now in my own kind of Bible study time, daily thing I go through. So I just go through books of the Bible. Anyway, I'm going through Jeremiah right now. And it's the same thing, Jeremiah. He's so frustrated with the Jews because they're about to get put into exile and nobody will listen to him, and and so Paul's got it on the one side. He's been beat up. It's just been a lot of running. He doesn't have his friends with him. They were separated because of all this. Now he's having to work 7 days a week, like you said, work at night, help during the day, do whatever he can. He's physically worn out. He's so tired emotionally of dealing with these hard-headed Jews, is I think how he would probably think of them. You know what I mean? And even he's getting some converts and whatever. And he's getting a lot of Corinthians, maybe a lot of Gentiles that are coming over. But he's worn out and he needs some encouragement.
And, we know that there's time passing too that we aren't always aware of, because at one point it says here he stayed on after the dream for a year and a half.
Yeah, so how long's he been there? Maybe 6 months, or who knows?
It's not like he just got into town and he's like, this place isn't very fruitful. I'm out of here. No, he's probably been there a while. So you're right. He's pulling this demanding schedule. He's got a big mental load, and
then God kind of steps in, gives him this dream and says, listen, just keep it up. Don't let them intimidate you or silence you. No matter what happens, I'm with you, and no one's going to be able to hurt you. You have no idea how many people I have on my side in this city. Like, he's just encouraging them and encouraging them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was a lot of what I took out of this, is just that Paul getting worn down and then God's encouragement. And then eventually, I think, I don't know if it's here or if it's a little later in the chapter, that Silas and Timothy do show up.
Okay.
They get back together, and then he can stop. Then he doesn't have to work. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to provide for himself at the same time. So that's what it says. It says in 5 and 6, when Silas and Timothy arrived from Macedonia, Paul was able to give all his time to preaching and teaching, doing everything he could to persuade the Jews that Jesus was in fact God's Messiah. So God is taking care of it. These are frustrations that Paul's dealing with, and God is kind of knocking them down one at a time. But at the same time, Paul still needs some encouragement. Probably not any different than us.
I was going to say, all of us can relate to that.
Sometimes it seems like
his encouragement's pretty special.
And sometimes it can feel like there's a lot, like it's kind of wave after wave after wave of just life,
Of
right?
life. Yes.
I mean, you know that.
Yeah, you too. 2025's been
It's been something.
it's been a little bit of a storm, you know?
It started off with a bang and
Yeah.
hasn't ever quit. It's
It
been
has not.
one thing after
It's like
another.
yeah, like you say, the waves. It's just crazy.
It has felt that way.
Yeah.
And I've felt now going into this one,
Mhm.
into this last 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it was with the kind of it's like a you start to I don't know if it's a diagnosis, it's a suspicion, then it's all these tests and all these scans, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're waiting for tests to get back. And the way things happen now, of course, you just get it on your phone. You know
Oh,
what
I
I
know.
mean? You
You
don't
get
even
the
get a call.
notice,
You
you're
just
like, "Your
you're
test
screwed.
results are available," and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
And they read way
Plugging it
worse.
into
I mean,
I
a
know
way
you're plugging terms into AI to figure out
yeah.
what it means, right? It's terrible.
So it's just this whole thing. But I will say that for me, I have felt like because I've had some other things this year and then the past years, it seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
But I felt like, you know what? This is the whole point of growth.
Mhm.
Like, it's cool doing podcasts. I love doing the podcast. I love writing. I love
Mhm.
all of it. Worshiping in church at the Sunday show, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Listening to preachings, all these things. But it's when you hit those storms that God really is like, okay, this is where we're gonna put some meat on the bone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. You've been talking the talk. Let's
Now you
see
get to walk it.
let's see
And so I
if
have
you
felt
can.
that it's important to me to be like, okay, we're gonna walk this like well, not like scared. Like, you want to get to the point where you're Peter, you're jumping out of the boat, he sees the waves and he gets scared. And that can happen a
Yeah.
few times, but you'd like to get to the point where you're walking farther on the water, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you're keeping a tighter view on Jesus and you're worrying less about the waves and like you're making progress. And so
Mhm.
that has felt important to me to be like, okay, let's not walk this in fear. Now to
Mhm.
come off of it and then get I guess what's pretty good news. And so then
Yeah.
you can it's not like I'm comparing myself to other people. Everything's different. I get that. But for me, it was happened to be a big area because my mom was diagnosed with cancer at 52 and ended up dying of stage 4 colon cancer
Yeah.
within 9 months of when she was diagnosed. So that storm in my life, which if you
Mhm.
haven't, I've got a whole book out there called
Oh my
"Leaves
gosh.
Blew Away" on
Go read
Amazon.
that book. Please go read that book.
My memoir. Anyway, I talk a lot
Very
about it, but
good.
that particular storm ended up kinda moving into a bunch of storms that wiped out a lot of things, and I look back in 10 years of life as, like, you know, kinda washed away, I felt like. But
Yeah.
it was, so that cancer was a real big, dark kinda area for me.
Mhm.
And so as this was starting to happen over the last few weeks, I felt like God was like, "Okay, I'm gonna redeem that too. Like, I'm the God of cancer too. So, you just walk with me, and you'll find out it'll be fine." And now it has been. And so when you get
Mhm.
to the end, when you travel through it and you get to where, okay, now you've got a decent diagnosis and
Mhm.
prognosis, then
Yeah.
maybe it's a little easier, but it's still for me was like, yeah, like cancer was something that I had a difficult time with.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't feel like I mean, I would have probably with you, but I didn't feel like I had to deal with it. You were down there and you kind of
I
moved
was gonna
through
say you
things
were
and you recovered and
you were really in contact, like, very up to date and very supportive, but I know I wasn't, like, close. I mean, I was close, but not, like, in
yeah.
your immediate, I don't know, family. Maybe I was a safe distance
It
emotionally at
could
that
be, I don't
time.
know.
But I know this has stirred up some stuff.
Yeah, and I could tell it does, like, in my sister, like,
Yep.
it's the same thing that I would get that would
Mhm.
be like it's a you get
Ooh.
these
Yeah.
kind of, like, trauma-based responses, I guess,
Yes.
maybe is how people would and so
Right.
that one is way deep-seated, it's 20 years ago,
Mhm.
but it was a pretty big deal for me, and so to be able to get through it and just be like, "Okay, we're just gonna trust God with this and go." And again, it's not the same, and so that's, that's a different thing too. It's to walk out of it and get a little bit better prognosis, and
Yeah.
then crow about how you were able to walk through it without fear. I'm not sure that's the way to do it either. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I
So
don't think you're crowing, but I think it's good to share that this was like your intention. Like,
yeah,
okay, this is and we've talked about this before. I don't, God doesn't give us cancer, but he certainly gives us the strength and the tools to get through it or to support each other through that sort of thing. But I just like that you shared that was your thinking because I think, you know, just think it's important to I think it's a really good faithful mindset to have. So I
I
don't feel like
wanted
you're
I wanted to
growing.
do
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Then I felt like it. Now that was 20 years ago, so everything was different about it. It was a
Sure.
complete,
You were you were a baby.
But still, I thought, I don't want, like, I just wanna be able to walk through cancer a little bit better this time, and
Mhm.
everybody around me walk through it and not be like, you know, whatever, and so it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. Matthew 10, I wanna read Matthew 10,
Okay.
20. You don't have to turn to anything. I'm gonna run through a couple of things here. Matthew
No, no.
10:21 through 23 in the Message,
Yeah.
kinda parallels a little bit of what, Jesus is telling us, kinda what
Okay.
Jesus told Paul in his dream.
Okay.
He says, when people realize it's the living God you are presenting and not some idol that makes them feel good, they're going to turn on you, even people
Mhm.
in your own family. There's a great irony here, proclaiming so much love, experiencing so much hate.
Hmm.
And then this is where he kind of gets into it, but don't quit. Don't cave in. It is all well worth it in the end. It is not success you're after in such times, but survival. Be survivors. Before you've run out of options, the Son of Man will have arrived.
Wow.
And I think that's okay.
That's good.
It's okay for there to be times in life where, you're not after success at that point. You're just trying to survive,
Sure.
you know?
Yep.
And Jesus, for that, God recognizes that too. And he's like, I know this is a lot. So just hang on. If you can
Right.
just get through it,
Mhm.
there'll be blessing on the other side.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's all you can do is just,
Well, I think it's sometimes it's easier. I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy or backwards, but I feel like sometimes it's easier to cling to Jesus when you're in survival mode.
yeah,
I think when you're in success mode, you feel like you can do it.
right.
When you need him to survive and just make it through the struggle, I feel
Yeah.
like it actually brings out, a more a stronger faith. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that Paul was in Paul didn't, and I think Paul was still probably getting a lot of success with
Sure.
Gentile believers in Corinth, but
Mhm.
in Paul's manner of thinking, that the failure with his brothers, with the people that he loved, the Jews, just weighed on him. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
then all this other stuff coming, and I think he was in a survival mode, and God's like, listen, you don't know what I have planned. You don't know how many people I've got here. You don't know any of it. If
Yeah.
you can just stick it out, I'll be there on the other side. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's sometimes all that we can do, and that's all God calls us to do. It's nice to know that that's all he calls us to do.
Mhm.
He's not like, "Well, you didn't do that well." He's like, "No, you just made it through, man. That was a
You made it
lot."
through. Right. You've been going through a lot lately.
Right. Like, I get it. I've walked it. There's times you just gotta survive. And so it's encouraging that he's that way. The other place I wanted to talk, what do you got? Anything I'm
I love
missing,
that.
Carrie?
Okay. I'm with you.
Go
Where
ahead.
else are you going?
Hit whatever you want. I'm gonna run to Second Kings.
Okay.
It'll make sense once I get there.
Okay.
Anything else in that passage that I was missing that you wanted
No,
to talk about?
I love that. I think that was really good.
In, Second Kings is one of my favorite stories. Second Kings 19 about
Okay.
Elijah. There's
Okay.
Elisha and Elijah
Okay.
in and they're both prophets of God.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Elijah is a prophet. Is Elisha older?
No,
Oh,
Elijah
Elijah is like the
is
original, the
the
first.
OG, and then
Okay.
Elisha
Okay.
is his the one that he mentored
Okay.
and kind of picked up his mantle. So
Second Kings.
The setting for the whole thing is that the nation of Israel at this point, it's been split. You've got two tribes that are called the nation of Judah, the kingdom of Judah, and then you've got the 10 tribes that are kingdom of Israel. Elijah was a prophet of God to the 10 tribes of Israel. And Ahab was the king at the time, and he's like one of the worst kings they ever had. Just Baal shrines everywhere. Everything that could be wrong was wrong with Israel at this point.
Okay.
And Elijah's trying to deal with them. And
Okay.
Elijah's saying there won't be rain. They're dealing with famines. God's doing all these things to try to get their attention to bring them back.
Okay.
Culminates on Mount Carmel. That's where you have the prophets of Baal. And Elisha says, bring all your prophets of Baal. You set up your altar. I'll set up my altar.
Okay.
And then we're going to call down fire from heaven, whoever answers. Right? So that's the classic story.
They have like a prophet off.
Yes. And God wins. Elijah wins.
Yeah.
They kill all the prophets of Baal. And then that's all chapter 18. You get to chapter 19. Jezebel is Ahab's wife. Ahab and Jezebel is horrible king and queen of Israel. And she says when she hears about the slaughter of the prophets of Baal, because these were her prophets, her political little peeps.
Okay.
She says, the gods will get you for this, and I'll get even with you. By this time tomorrow, she's telling Elijah, or she's communicating to Elijah through a messenger that he'll be as dead as any one of those prophets. And so Elijah, it's a weird thing, but he's coming off this massive victory on Mount Carmel.
Okay.
And he gets this, and God's shown all that he can do.
Yeah.
And then Jezebel threatens Elijah's life, and Elijah just craters. So what happens? Well, he craters into some exhaustion and depression. Now, maybe that's coming off of this major victory and just, kind of sinking afterwards.
Yeah.
But what happens then is it says when Elijah saw how things were, he ran for dear life to Beersheba, far in the south of Judah. He left his young servant there and went on into the desert another day's journey. He came to a lone broom bush and collapsed in its shade, wanting in the worst way to be done with it all, to just die. Enough of this, God, take my life. I'm ready to join my ancestors in the grave. Exhausted, he fell asleep under the lone broom bush. So he's in a rough spot. Like, he's just done with it all. It's such an odd thing right on the heels of this amazing victory that he had.
Right.
It says, suddenly an angel shook him awake and said, get up and eat. He looked around, and to his surprise, right by his head were a loaf of bread baked on some coals and a jug of water. He ate the meal and went back to sleep. Then the angel of God came back, shook him awake again, and said, get up and eat some more. You've got a long journey ahead of you. He got up, ate and drank his fill, and set out. Nourished by that meal, he walked 40 days and nights, all the way to the mountain of God, to Horeb. When he got there, he crawled into a cave and went to sleep. He's sleeping. He's just collapsing.
He's exhausted, man. He's like.
Then he walked 40 days and 40 nights on the strength of this
can't find where you are.
Angelic meal. So, and then he collapses in this cave. And so you've got this picture of a guy who's just exhausted. Like, it's just suicidal, exhausted, like mentally, physically, everything, right? He's just like butter scraped over too much bread, like Bilbo. Says, then the word of God came to him while he's in this cave at the mountain of the Lord. The word of God came to him and says, so, Elijah, what are you doing here? And Elijah's got a spiel, because you know that this entire journey he's had this spiel like on repeat. He knew what he was going to tell God, what was going on. And he's like, I've been working my heart out for God of the angel armies. The people of Israel have abandoned your covenant, destroyed the places of worship, and murdered your prophets. And I'm the only one left. And now they're trying to kill me. So he's got it pretty well mapped out. Like, none of this is fair. Everything's going to hell.
Right. Yeah. Like, this isn't fair. That's exactly what I'm hearing. Understandably. Like, I get it.
So then he was told, God tells him, go, stand on the mountain at attention before God, and God will pass by. A hurricane ripped through the mountains and shattered the rocks before God. but God wasn't to be found in the wind. After the wind, an earthquake, but God wasn't in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, fire, but God wasn't in the fire. And after the fire, a gentle and quiet whisper. When Elijah heard the quiet voice, he muffled his face with his great cloak, went to the mouth of the cave, and stood there. A quiet voice asked, "So, Elijah, now tell me, what are you doing here?" Elijah says it all again. Because
Wait, tell me where you are, Todd. I'm trying so hard to follow.
I'm in 13 and 14 in 1 Kings 19.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
Right. No, that's okay.
1 Kings 19 is where I'm at.
Perfect. Okay. Okay,
so Elijah says it again.
He says it again.
Because he's been thinking about this for a while. He knows everything that's wrong. He says, "I've been working my heart out for God, the God of the angel armies, because the people of Israel have abandoned your covenant, destroyed your places of worship, and murdered your prophets. I'm the only one left, and now they're trying to kill me." This is how dire the situation is.
Yeah.
And God said, "Go back the way you came through the desert to Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael and make him king over Aram. Then anoint Jehu, son of Nimshi, make him king over Israel. Finally, anoint Elisha, son of Japhat, from Abel Meholah to succeed you as prophet. Anyone who escapes death by Hazael will be killed by Jehu. Anyone who escapes death by Jehu will be killed by Elisha. Meanwhile, I'm preserving for myself 7,000 souls, the knees that haven't bowed to the god Baal, the mouths that haven't kissed his image." So it's kind of the same exact thing that he tells Paul, which is, I've got a lot more people here. Like, you don't understand how many people I've got here that are ready.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know you're tired. I know you're exhausted. I know you've been through all of this, but just go back the way you came and you're on track. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and when things are hard, it's really hard. Look at what he's facing. It's and where Paul was too. He's tired. When you're tired and you're just going through a lot, you've been beaten up and jailed and hauled into court and mobs are calling for your death. All these things. Like
over and over and over. You're like,
yeah,
how many courtrooms do I have to see the inside of?
Right. I think it's really relatable that these people would just only be thinking of themselves in that moment. Like, this is what, you've called me to do this. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm facing. These are all my struggles. And God's like, hey, like, you're just a piece. Like, you're just one part of, of a much bigger picture. Like, I think God is in both of these stories is revealing how we're all just one little piece of his plan.
Yeah.
We're all important.
Right.
But it's not about us.
Well, I think it's what can happen maybe in the midst of trials, in the midst of suffering.
Yeah.
Is our vision can get kind of myopic. You know what I mean? Our vision will kind of narrow up. And we can be like, "Man, everything sucks. I'm doing everything. I don't understand why the more that I try to serve you, the more it all goes to hell. I just don't get it."
Right.
Like, none of this makes sense. And I think one of the things God does when he comes to us, when he comes to Paul and he gives Paul this dream, or when he's meeting Elijah and, he's not in the hurricane and he's not in, but he's this gentle, quiet voices. He's expanding our horizons again. He already did, but that suffering and the trials and the exhaustion and just everything has just, it's kind of narrowed it down to where we're just focused on the hard stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
of course. Well, and that's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Little thing. You can have a great day and something little happens. You're like, oh man, like I got stuck in traffic for 5 whole minutes. It's like we just harp on it. We just like to narrow in on the inconveniences, And
we always think we know. Like, we know this is going to only get worse. It's only been getting worse for a number of years. Why would it change?
Right.
But I think God's like, wait a minute. There's more here than what you realize. I've got more people, that's encouraging too, because God's
Mm-hmm.
got more people than just you. You don't have to do everything, Elijah.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
actually, you're right. It's not that we're not important. But it's also like we're not fully responsible.
Right.
Yeah.
And we tend to take that take more on ourselves, or feel like we are, in
Mhm.
those times of exhaustion, of fatigue, of all those things. And God's like, listen, there's more to life than just you. You
Mhm.
just get through it. You just survive
Just survive. I know, it's like I
and
like
look
these God
around you.
circumstances.
You've got for
Yeah.
for Elijah, he had
Mhm.
Hazael, and he's gonna Jehu and Elisha, and don't worry, there's help coming. And for Paul,
Mhm.
he's got Priscilla and Aquila. He hasn't met Apollos yet. Apollos is coming in the next half of 18. But
Okay.
Apollos is another, he's going to end up being a big leader of the church, a fantastic teacher, but he needs a little help. He needs Priscilla and Aquila to kind of educate him a little bit more on the New
Okay.
Testament Jesus. He's got all the Jew stuff down, and he's mostly there, but he's not quite all the way there. We're going to see next week.
Okay.
And so, but there's people there helping you, Paul. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I understand you're upset about the Jews, but don't worry about it. I've got God's got even that. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fine. We'll get the ones that are supposed to come to me out of the Jews will come. This whole church is starting out Jewish, but it's going to be a lot bigger than that. So I got a lot more in store than what you realize. Just survive and just get through it. That was kind of what I was taking out of this passage with
Right.
Paul, was at those times where you're tired, where it seems like a lot, where it's just seems like you've had, you know, the crap kicked out of you over and over and over again,
Yep.
because that tends to happen. To
Sometimes we feel that way.
just kind of stand
Yeah.
there, give it to
It's
God.
good.
I think it's important. God, you know what? You've been rehearsing it. It's been rolling through
Yes.
your mind, and this is what you think. So lay it out there before God and let Him deal with it. And
Right.
don't be surprised if he asks you again, and then you lay it all out again, and he's like, "Maybe it's a little bigger than this. Maybe I got it. Maybe."
Maybe I got it. Yeah, he
So,
does. I know. And, you feel peace as soon as you give it to him, you feel so much more at peace with it, usually.
yeah.
Yeah. Even
So,
if everything isn't resolved yet, it's like letting that go, letting the weight of that go.
yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, he wants us to give it to him.
Just
He's asked
survive.
Yes, he's asking things of us all the time, but he also wants us to give it to him when it's too hard.
When God's in the midst of his pruning,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
when he's cutting off this branch and he's cutting over here and he's cutting over here, and it hurts because
Yep.
it's suffering and because it's loss, because you're losing pieces of yourself,
Mhm.
you know? But when he's
Yep.
in the middle of that, don't expect the fruit and the success at the same exact time. That isn't how it works. It's the next season that he's looking for all the growth that's going to come.
I feel attacked, Todd.
So you can, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
let it go and survive and get through it and get to the other side, to the next season of growth and blessing. I think you
Right.
utilize the one that you have and the growth that you've got, and get through it. And hopefully you do a little better than you did 10 years ago,
Mhm.
5 years ago, whatever it is.
Right.
That was my hope. I hope I
Last week,
did. It's not
last
done,
month.
but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you think, Carrie?
I love the other 2 passages you shared. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good.
Another Bible story, because I don't know if we'll ever get to Kings, but
We're gonna be like 90 and be like, "Hey, welcome to Beers with Jesus. Welcome to Ensure with Jesus."
That's our sponsor.
No,
All
it's
right,
good.
guys. Well, I
Thank
think
you.
we did the best we could. Maybe a little shorter this week, but I'm in recovery, so I can only do so much.
You need to go nourish
I need
yourself
some
with Yester
angelic
Dog.
yester dog.
I love it.
Nourish me.
I hope you have a great time. Do they still have the place where you chuck the tip, like, into the big funnel?
No, I don't. I just put it in the thing, but they do, like, when they'll like ring a little bell a lot of times when you give them a tip, but it's
Oh,
just a
okay. Because they
jar.
used to have, like, a big funnel across the room, and you'd have to throw the tip
They
into it.
might, but nobody does it anymore. Maybe I don't know. I gotta look. I'm gonna look when we're there. I don't know.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
So,
well, have fun today. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Check out news if you haven't. We're here every week. Now, this is Happy Thanksgiving too. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. This is dropping on Wednesday, and we're recording on Sunday, so we're still a fuzz out. And my life's been such a cluster that I can barely keep track. But I know Thanksgiving's coming, and so
Happy Thanksgiving.
Everybody enjoy it with your families.
Yeah.
Enjoy the meal. Thank God for another year that He's gotten our country through.
Woohoo!
Somehow.
So we're surviving.
And Todd's World's here for you all week when you're cooking your turkey. Whenever you got time, when you're going over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house, turn it on.
I love it.
All right.
They do.
Well, Carrie, have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Have a great one.
I will. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.